Welcome to the BeStrong Show. I am your host, Michelle Shirley, CEO and Chief Heart Officer for BeStrong International. If you have not heard of BeStrong International, where have you been? This is an amazing organization for over 30 years teaching heart skills in the community. We're all about meaningful connections, healthy relationships. We want families to thrive. We want marriages to thrive. And we are asking for your support for our upcoming Back to School Drive. If you are interested in supporting families so that children can have a great academic start to their new year, we are asking you to support us in any way possible. Please visit our website, bestrongintl.org, to learn more. With that said, we have an amazing guest with us today. His name is Maurice Gray. He is the Executive Director of the Goldman Sachs Small 10,000 Business Program. And so I'm excited for you to be here.
Thank you for having
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. and I have to commend BeStrong International for all the great work that you do, strengthening families.
Thank you so much. Yeah, That means a lot.
Yes.
It's not easy. We have an amazing team and great support from the community. And of course, the small business, 10,000 small business program. I got to say that right. 10,000 small business program.
It's a mouthful.
It is, but it is also just a wonderful program, a myriad of resources there. Yeah. I was blessed to be part of it thanks to your leadership and those who have gone on. But it was a real blessing for me at the time that I needed resources the most, and great. Just a group of colleagues that were in the trenches in their own space and in their own businesses. And so before we even get into that, I was reading your bio and I know you have this background in banking. So I want to learn more about that and how you ended up transitioning to the college.
I was in banking for probably about 15 years as a commercial lender. So providing traditional finance products to businesses, working capital, real estate loans, term loans, things of that nature. So obviously as a lender, you get accustomed to learning businesses across different industries, because obviously the bank is approached by all types of different businesses. So as a lender, it's your job to understand those businesses, and in particular, how those businesses function, and if there are potential pitfalls, as is evident in their financials, that may inhibit their ability to repay you. Okay, so the entire process, I started as a credit analyst first, and then moved into a role as a lender, and understanding, like I said, how a credit request and then the underlying analysis to determine if you're able to give a particular business what they're requesting. Right. But after doing that for about 15 years at a number of different banks, hyper sales environment, I think throughout my banking career, I thought about being able to help businesses. Okay. Now, as a lender, you're able to help businesses by giving them money,
the capital. They need, right.
However, you're not in a position to remediate things that you see in a business. If a business comes to you and says, hey, I want to get a loan, and for whatever reason you're not able to do that, you could tell them the reason why the underwriters thought that they were not a good credit risk. But usually for a business, in order to remediate that, they need some information as to how should I better manage my receivables? How do I create better margins in my business, which seem to be deteriorating? Right. So that was a welcome opportunity to be able to come into a program like this, where you're actually helping businesses to solve problems.
Right.
Okay, so you're not just saying no, you are saying, here's some tools to help you to make your business better.
Right.
Okay, across many different functional areas of a business.
Right. That's great. And, I do want to say, too, congrats on your role of being the executive director, right? I've watched you.
Yeah, wore a lot of different hats.
Right, wear a lot of different hats. And, the nonprofit space is just made up that way, where you do wear these different hats.
Yeah.
What is your most gratifying moment that you would say when you see these businesses come and they enroll in this program?
I think it's just helping businesses figure it out. Okay. Obviously, you're a business owner.
Right.
Even in the nonprofit space, there are many different operations that go into running a business. I think a lot of business owners, you get into a particular vocation or business because you may have some vocational background.
Right.
Okay, where if you work for another company as a plumber, then you decide to set up your own plumbing operation. Or someone told you that you make great chocolate chip cookies.
Right.
You say, I'm gonna open a bakery. And then you realize once you open a business, you're not baking the cookie. You're not getting your hands in the dough like you used to.
Right.
You have to be a human resource officer. You have to be an accountant to some degree, a cash manager. So all of these things begin to affect you as an owner, so you're not just doing that thing you love. And you can appreciate that's a lot to know. And unfortunately, a lot of business owners learn by making mistakes. Okay. When cash flow gets bad, then you realize the importance of managing your receivables. Okay. Right. When you realize you're not as profitable at the end of the year, you say, well, wow, I need to start keeping a better eye on how much I'm paying suppliers and our expense base and all those things that affect your net income. So what's most gratifying for me is when business owners come in, because we've had business owners to say that they contemplated closing the doors of their business before they joined this program.
Wow.
Just because they felt like all of these various activities were caving in on them and they didn't know how to set a direction to come out of it. So they feel as though the program, by being able to step back from their business and participate in our classroom-based experience, gave them an opportunity to step back from their business and get out of the storm, so to speak,
Right.
and see what they should do to pull through it.
Right.
So that's always gratifying to hear that, because I admire small business owners who take that leap of faith.
Yeah, the tenacity.
You know, they move away from the comfort of showing up at someone else's place of employment and getting a paycheck and going home and not having to really worry about what's going on in the business. And I'm sure you could attest to the fact you're always thinking about what's next for BeStrong.
Right.
You know, even when the workers have gone home, you're what's next. So that's always gratifying, like I said, to see people kind of get their bearings straight and be able to move forward.
And those aha moments too, right? Where they're in the classroom and just like, man, I didn't think about that. And learning, I think what I love about the structure of the program is that there's peer-to-peer learning.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in the room that also have been there, done that, and can give those insights to some of those business owners too. It's a really great community.
Yeah. No, the peer-to-peer learning is certainly a core pillar of our program. Although it's a classroom setting, it is not just prescriptive from the faculty member. And to your point, a particular cohort may consist of, in general, about 30 individuals who are in their own right subject matter experts. You may be sitting next to someone who has their own marketing firm.
Right.
So they can tell you some do's and don'ts. You may be sitting next to someone who is a human resource, does, outsource human resources or employee benefits. So you get that insight from the people as you're trying to figure out how to make your business better, and you have people sitting next to you say, well, you might want to approach it like this, or here's some guardrails, here's some caveats. And to me, that's as beneficial as telling you exactly what to do I wouldn't go there.
Right.
Just helping you establish some boundaries from people who have no vested interest
I love that.
in telling you something that's wrong.
Right.
I think that's in this age of information, we still have the duty of sifting through. You can go on the internet and find all kind of information about everything.
But what's right? What's wisdom?
Right. So having, to your point, a group of people who you go through this program with for 3 months, and you're sitting usually closer than you and I are sitting for 3 months. You get to know them pretty well. And I think it also helps a business owner to kind of broaden their network of, the words you use, resources. So now you have a group of people that you can call. They don't have a dog in the fight, and you can get unvarnished advice from them. And most business owners acknowledge that they've been siloed. They go to work, focus on their own enterprise, and they go home and they don't really have a network of other individuals that they tap into to help them navigate through the countless number of circumstances that a business could face.
Yeah. And that's I think, one of the most valuable assets to the program, having that other person who's like, that sounding board,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That faithful friend. I want you to share, and I know we went really fast into the program, so I want you to share, because I know there would be business owners listening right now
Yes.
from all different, ventures, right?
Yes.
And so what I want you to do is share a little bit about what the purpose of the program is
Yes.
and who is the right candidate for such a program as this.
Yes. And so to define what the program is, I'll take it back to its inception.
Right.
And about 14 years ago, Goldman Sachs committed $500 million to help, at that time, per the moniker of this program, 10,000 small businesses to go to the next level. Since that initial $500 million investment, Goldman Sachs has contributed another $250 million during COVID. So we're one of 20 sites throughout the United States, primarily community colleges, that deliver a curriculum that's been created by Babson College. Okay, so this is a very structured program. Babson College, as many people may not know, is regarded as the #1 academic institution for entrepreneurial education in the United States, ranked by U.S. News and World Report for about the past 25 years. So the goal of this program, at its basic sense, is to help businesses come up with growth strategies. Okay, we're interested in what can you do, as we always challenge as business, what can you do to grow your business, to bring in more revenue? So we're not talking about, organizing your warehouse better to, so the packages get in and out more efficient. No, what can you do to add to your mix to bring more revenue in? Now, obviously, some of those other parts of your business may need to be refined to accommodate that, because if you want to take on a surge of business, you may not have enough warehouse space for the inventory. Right. So all those things are in alignment, but we want business owners to start thinking very high level about their enterprise and other sources of revenue, okay? And so I think the takeaway from the program is really twofold. There's kind of a short-term takeaway, if you will, in terms of we want to get a business owner focused on an opportunity so we can then align your business around that opportunity. So if you say, I want to pursue this type of customer, then what internal skill sets do you need to have? Right. If you're like we used to have a company that did concrete floors. So maybe you're just doing standard concrete floors, and then someone says, hey, do you do stamped concrete? Or do you do polished concrete? Oh, that's a possibility, but I don't have the expertise in-house yet. So that may be a part of as you look at the entirety of it, pursuing an opportunity, what other pieces do you need to put in place to seize the opportunity? Right. And that's really what the 3-month process is about. Going from ideation to actionable steps for implementation. Right. And so what qualifies a business to be part of the program? So in order to be considered for the program, you have to meet some criteria. One is have $75,000 in revenue for your last year, 2 employees, including the owner, 2 years in business, and ideally the individual is an owner or co-owner of the business, a stakeholder. Right. Okay. Right. We do make some exceptions. Sometimes you'll have enterprises where it's a family business. Obviously, there are many benefits that accrue to women-owned businesses. So one spouse may only be the owner of record for whatever reason, or the children of the founders of a business may want to participate, but they're not shareholders yet, but they're active in the business and will soon be taking over the reins of the business. So we can accommodate some of those variations. Right, because you all go through, once they figure out if they want to be a part of it, there's an application process. But I remember there was also an interview process. And I think that's where you're going to decide and learn more about where those stakeholders are within the business, correct? Yes. Yeah. So that's, So we will invite, to your point, applicants to a secondary phase. So everyone who meets our basic criteria is invited to a secondary phase, and we'll ask for some validating documentation to make sure your revenue is what it is, which you stated in your application, and to have an opportunity to speak to you, interact with you. I'm sure see if you're a good fit. Yeah, I'm sure you've interviewed people who look good on paper. But you want to see some of those intangible things, motivation to be in the program. What are they seeking to fulfill with their objectives?
And 3 months is a long time to commit to that, right? You're stepping away from your business throughout that entire day process. I think you all did a great job in explaining that. And I think it takes courage of the leader to have that sort of foresight to know, yes, it's painful and I'm stepping away, but what I'm going to gain from this is going to propel me forward in the future, right?
Yes.
Because I know you hear that a lot.
Yes.
It's a long time.
Yes. And that's why we continually reach out to alumni like yourself to help promote the program because despite our advocacy for joining the program and all the benefits, it's different coming from another business owner who has made a similar sacrifice to be able to share that cost benefit with another business owner.
Right.
So that there's another benefit from business owners being in our program, not only what they're learning in the classroom, in terms of strategy to grow their businesses, but I believe there's a mindset shift that takes place as well because many business owners acknowledge that they've never stepped away. They dare not take a day.
It's going to fall apart.
Yeah.
It's going to fall apart.
Why would you take a day away from a business that you're trying to grow?
Right.
And it goes against the entrepreneurial spirit of doing things, to sit back and contemplate what you're going to do with your business. So I think one of the kind of unpublished benefit is that business owners realize they can step away from the business. They empower some individuals to take ownership of some processes, and the shop didn't burn down. So good. A lot of business owners come away even more committed to taking time to think about where they're going.
That's so good.
And realizing that, as I said, the business will keep going. And it's just another evolution of a growing business.
Yeah.
I think a lot of business owners they're the point person. They're the person that all the customers want to speak to.
They're the chief everything.
Right. But then you realize I can't grow this if I'm the chief salesperson, I'm the chief operations person. And then start to, like I said, just get a different perspective about what it means to be a business owner.
Right. And I think that time that it steps away too, I think what it does too, it reignites the passion too, because when you get a chance to step away and you hear in the room all of this positivity around like all these 30 businesses want to go forward, I think it just encourages you to, I'm with people who we're all trying to, strive. We're all trying to grow. We can all help one another. And I think that's beautiful.
Right.
If there's someone watching now and they feel like, okay, this is great. I've never heard about this program. I'm contemplating, spending the time to look into this more.
Yes.
What types of businesses do you typically see come through this program? Because you may be able to share some of those types of businesses. I know there's been IT that comes in. I mean, so much source, but what?
Yeah, it really runs the gamut. We've had some small manufacturing companies here, a number of service companies represented by law firms and CPA firms. Doctors, veterinarians, dentists, yoga studios, belly dancers, really almost any business. We are industry agnostic. We don't have any prohibitions against any industry. And as you understand, despite what a business is selling or services they're providing, at the end of the day, they're common business functions of creating value for customers, collecting revenue, managing expenses, and hopefully having profitability.
Right.
So within that, like I said, despite what industry you're in, there's a lot of commonalities there as to how you make sure you're doing those things well. And like I said, meeting customer objectives.
Right. No, that's really great.
And we forgot to say the program is offered at no cost.
Oh, that is the biggest thing. No cost at all.
Where's the bomb sound?
Right?
No it's offered at no cost due to the financial commitment that Goldman Sachs has made. So
this is wonderful. I mean, you can't beat that, right? You're there, and I think even part of it is the way in which you treat us too says a lot about the program. When I walked in that first day and
we had breakfast,
the breakfast,
and
the lunch,
and the snack,
the executive type of feel and look to it just makes you feel like you're in the right place at the right time, and you're going to gain so much from that experience.
Thank you for that. We work very hard on the details, those small things.
And I pay attention to those small details, those small probably not in other things, but that one I did. And I really thought I think it's just a great program. I learned so much. My company has grown since then tremendously. And funny, when you grow, then you have a new set of problems, right? That you have to kind of go back and readjust, and it just keeps happening. But I think that's the fun part of entrepreneurship, where you just keep learning and you keep growing with the business, and engaging in what's happening in the community and the resources that are available. Yeah,
is the in addition to you growing your business in the short term, a process that because you're going to continue once you reach one milestone, you're like,
I want the next one.
You're looking at the next peak.
Right.
So it's a continual process, and that's hopefully what the business owners ultimately take away is that familiarity with going from this point to that point.
Yeah.
And streamline.
I love that so much. Well, this was great. Yes. I want us to switch now a little bit to our game, our Social Yaks game, because I want people who are watching, I know that they've now learned a little bit more about the program, and there's probably some piqued interest now about how to join and what it offers. But I want them to also get to know you as an individual, because if they do join, then they're going to see your face there in the building as part of all of this amazing work that's going on. And so the first part of our game is the polar bear level, where you're going to break the ice. So I just want you to pick up that first card for me, read it to the audience, and then share your best answer that genuinely just comes from you.
This question is, what did you want to be when you were younger? And a basketball player. Professional basketball player.
You have the height.
I know. And that's until people say, no, you got to do something besides that. And then I really wanted to be a pediatrician.
Really?
Yeah, when I was growing up.
Oh. Yeah. You have a love for kids? You just love kids? Okay.
I don't know. I think I had a great pediatrician.
And that you were just inspired, right?
Yeah, I think I was just...
you didn't think about the actual fact that you would have crying babies. And
when it gets down to where the rubber meets the road, that's kind of different. But yeah, that was one of my early aspirations.
Oh, that's pretty cool. How tall are you?
6'4.5", somewhere in there. I think getting shorter. I'm at that
stress?
stage. I'm just at that
shorter?
stage in life where things go in other directions.
That's so funny. All right, that's really cool. All right, so we're gonna take the next one, which is get social. We're gonna dig a little bit deeper with the yak there. Yep.
So this question is, what's the most meaningful relationship you have? So these questions get a little deeper.
Yes, they do.
And I'm gonna cower it out and not pick one.
Okay.
I'm going to say wife and kids. Okay. Yeah. So family in general.
Yeah.
Are the most important. I think, the tutelage to the children. I think my wife, she's figured out how she wants to go through this life. Right. So it's really the relationship with the kids that I feel most responsible for affecting and how they move forward and tackling. Yeah. All that we know is ahead of them in life.
Yeah. And I feel like you're in this amazing space. And I think every parent goes through, life situations in which they can give advice to their children. Yes. But I think for you, you're in this amazing space where you are hearing people's stories more often than others. Yes. And you are navigating them through those challenges. And some are even personal, right? Yes. Where you are going to put your hand on their shoulder and just encourage them to keep up, keep going on. And so I think that's great things that you're seeing that definitely your kids will be blessed by, because you're able to share some of those things, of course, without names and whatnot, but just circumstances that you've seen and how you can share with them. Business owners, just like all of us, have families and they're going through personal adversity and they're going through all the decisions that they have to make and how they overcome that. I think that's great.
And the one thing I try to impress upon my kids is resilience. Understanding that usually the best laid plan is going to is going to veer off.
Here and there.
But being able to maintain a sense of mission, in a general direction. It may, like I say, that road trip you're trying to take may not go exactly on those roads, but you're still moving in that direction.
Yeah, really
because
good.
we all face adversity. And going back to my segue from banking to Miami-Dade College, my exit from banking was not as ceremonious as I would have liked it.
Right.
Just to be candid, that things happen in life, and you have to find your bearing and keep moving forward, because we can't control the universe.
Right.
There are too many forces.
Right.
And I think, once you kind of yield to it, it's kind of like they say, if you find yourself in a riptide, part of it is to relax, to find where you should be navigating, as opposed to fighting against the tide. So, and I think life is a lot like that. You just have to find you figure it's very difficult at age 18 when the world says you need to pick what you want to be for the rest of your life.
Right now.
And you head off on that track, understandably, statistically, how many of those plans end up where they started? So I think we have to show ourselves grace that the train sometimes doesn't go, doesn't stay on the rails, but it can be fixed. Yeah.
So good. This is so good. All right, you're deep, sir. All right.
Okay.
So we are going.
And you're gonna get deeper.
Okay.
Deeper. Okay. What mistake do you keep making over and over again?
It's a tough one.
Yeah. Despite me telling myself that I won't butt into my wife's and children's conversations, I can't help it. So that's what it is. I think acknowledging, as I see I think it's beautiful when children have a male and a female in their life, because they're different perspectives.
Absolutely.
The way I approach a problem is different from the way that my wife will. So allowing people that space to have different relationships, and as my wife said, minding my own business. I'll sum that up. Minding my own business.
Hopefully she's watching, because she's like, right?
And she's probably cheering somewhere. Yeah.
That's so cool. Well, the last one, I want you to read it, and I'm going to share what I would think about you. And this is the purpose of the game, to kind of seal you at the end, as you've shared so much.
Okay, this will be interesting for me too. If I was to be remembered in history, what would it be for?
So I feel like it's two-pronged, because one is these bow ties. From the time that I've met you, you are like fantastically arranged with the bow ties and the suit, the nice suit.
Just represent the program.
I'm telling you that it's amazing. The poise that you have when you walk into a room, when you go anywhere. I think the poise in which you operate in, the way you dress, says a lot about what you want to be, or who you want to be respected as. I think that means a lot. But I think the other piece is this piece of being remembered for someone who really cared about community and wanted to see businesses flourish. And I don't think it's by accident that you even mentioned, in candidly as you did, that here it was, you were in banking and the exit wasn't pretty, but somehow everything perfectly aligned where you are on the other end now to help these businesses really flourish so that they can get the lending that they need, even though it won't be with you, putting industries in a space where they can access the resources now, and you can see and shed that light, encourage them. I think is something that you'll be remembered for years to come. The program is amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, this outfit is a holdover from my banking days. So, because as essentially a salesperson in banking, it's important. It was always important to me how you present yourself. You're getting ready to have high level conversations about finance. So I think the image you project is one of the first steps in terms of establishing credibility.
Absolutely. Well, you're going to be remembered for that, sir. You do a great job at it. You do a great job at it.
Thank you.
I want you to just take a few moments as we end the show to encourage some business owners now, let them know about the program. But I think whatever insights you can share this will be your time to do it?
Yeah, I think the most important thing I would like to encourage any business, if you're a business owner and you're trying to make your business better, you're trying to figure some things out, and it aligns with what I've indicated our program is about, I would urge you to reach out to our program. You can find our program by going to the Miami-Dade College website, and in the search field, if you type in the number 10,000, you will be redirected to our webpage where you can apply to our program. And we run our program 3 times per year over the course of 3 months. So if you apply now before June 11th, you'll be in consideration for our program that begins in September 10th, actually. So I would encourage any business owner, if you're trying to figure it out, no business is too big. Okay, you have to have a minimum of $75,000, but I think sometimes that's a bit of a misnomer where people believe that it's only for small businesses. And it's really for any business where you're at a point and you're trying to figure out what's next for you. So I encourage you to apply.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for being part of the show. I hope that you are interested in applying. I am a true advocate for this amazing program. It has tremendously changed the way that we do business. I hope it will help you. And most importantly, just remember to continue to look towards the sky, believe in yourself, and encourage yourself even when times get rough. There is always resources, always a mentor available. You just got to know where to look. Hope to see you soon. Thanks for being on the show.